You're going to get invited into a house. And the house is going to be broken down into certain rooms.
Puff Daddy and Felix the House Cat, famed house music producer.
Yeah.
They're basically spooning and they're drinking a glass of Hennessy.
All men, though. There's not one woman in this room.
All men. And they're all 100% on ecstasy.
Rooms are designated by activities.
Turkish house, where you can assume what they do, quote unquote.
Chris Brown has spilled the tea on Diddy's after parties, and it's not for the faint-hearted. According to the R&B star, these exclusive parties are always all men and get pretty bizarre. It's no secret that Diddy is known for his love for the boys, and Chris has now confirmed what many have suspected all along. Recently, Chris dished out some wild and crazy details about these parties that will surely leave you gasping for more. So, sit tight and get ready for a wild ride as we delve into the world of Diddy's infamous parties.
Anything can happen, I'm just vibing, so why?
Well, Chris Brown has worked closely with many rappers and producers, and sometimes these men got a little too close. Chris further revealed how these powerful men who appear to be straight men do pretty gay things behind the curtains.
But did Diddy just claim that minivan range looking hugging? Was that two niggas hugged up in a corner? Bring that back on the slow homo cam.
Well, Diddy has made himself an insane amount of fortune, and if there's one thing he loves spending his money on, it's his extravagant and freaky parties. We're talking million-dollar parties with strict dress codes that can feature over 1,000 guests. And according to Snoop, Diddy's parties are notoriously wild and extravagant with an endless supply of drinks and substances. It seems like Diddy uses these parties to act out his sexual fantasies, and he doesn't seem to bother hiding it. Now, we can't deny that Diddy's parties are exclusive and fancy, and only a select few people are invited to these secret parties. That it would cost, we can only imagine the discomfort and unease of those who attend, especially if they don't want to be a part of Diddy's sexual fantasies. We all know that Diddy is a kinky man and he doesn't try very hard to hide it either. Despite being one of the biggest names in the industry, Diddy has no interest in keeping his sexual adventures private. He hosts huge parties, and when we say these parties run wild, we mean wild. Even other artists who are used to the most expensive and VIP parties get a bit of a shock as soon as they walk into one hosted by Diddy. Chris Brown was left flabbergasted when he walked into one of the after parties arranged by Diddy and realized this was unlike anything he had ever seen before. If you ask for advice, then Diddy is not the sort of man you should be partying with if you're straight and honor your marriage, considering his track record. Despite being a father and being in a committed relationship, Diddy continues to host these secret parties that sound like a safe haven for secretly gay men to fulfill their sexual desires. Look at what Usher had to say about Diddy's antics when he got to stay with him for a few years.
With the adults.
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Diddy hosting gay parties openly might be a shock to some people, but his kinky and obscene sexual adventures have never been much of a secret. For as long as we can remember, Diddy has been openly hitting on male rappers right, left, and center. Every rapper is in danger of being hit on by Diddy at any given time. You'd think a man of his status would be careful and secretive about this sort of thing, but Diddy doesn't mind shooting his shot at anyone. One of the people who had this first-hand experience was 50 Cent.
Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man.
50 Cent recalls how Diddy asked him out and offered to take him shopping, which is a weird thing to say to another straight man. 50 Cent knew immediately that Diddy wasn't thinking of an innocent shopping trip. In fact, he's thinking of some other favors. 50 Cent didn't appreciate Diddy's behavior at all and let him know that. That's something a guy says to a girl, 50 explained. Puffy's got some fluffy stuff going on. But Diddy was unfazed by this allegation. He had a rather jolly reaction to it, which really makes one think. Diddy really has no fear of the public knowing his actions. He responded to 50 Cent saying, "I don't even think of no other man. If I'm thinking about another man, I'm thinking about uplifting." Well, Diddy will let you know, that wasn't really convincing. He once accidentally admitted to sleeping with Usher in the same bed when Usher was just a little kid.
Yeah, from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the...
This is wrong on so many levels. Is Diddy also a pedophile? That's what his confession makes it look like. Usher also admits that he would never send his kids to a place like Diddy's.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Even Diddy's bodyguard didn't keep his secrets and discussed how experimental Diddy was with his sexcapades. Notice how he mentioned, which is a pet favorite in group settings like clubs and parties. So every confession, either accidental or intentional, revolves around Diddy being gay and links him to gay clubs and parties, which is precisely what Chris Brown referred to. His track record regarding improper mannerisms is quite impressive too, which might be a key factor in how the fellow male rappers view him, which, much to his disappointment, is with fear and apprehension for now. In one of the interviews, Diddy was found pestering Fabulous for not joining him in parties. Fab looked uncomfortable to the brink and didn't respond much throughout the interview that followed. It seemed like the poor guy wanted the ground to swallow him up. He seemed to be not able to even make eye contact with Diddy.
It's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest songs in the world. And yo, what the fuck did Puff just say?
It was most probably the idea of accompanying Diddy to a gay party that might have freaked Fab out, which also leads us to believe that Chris Brown is spot on with his assumptions regarding these gay parties Diddy seems to be an integral part of. But what compelled Chris to finally break his silence? Well, Chris has been under hot waters for quite some time now. This is because some of his ideologies do not sit well with the liberals. The audience tends to think that Chris Brown is homophobic, given some of his previous remarks regarding homosexuals. Like this one time, he accidentally let on too much about his mindset regarding gay people, which leads us to think that Chris has been openly perturbed by light signifiers of homosexuality. Well, just a comment from rapper Raz, formerly of the group B2K, sent Brown into a defensive rage, causing him to unleash a series of below-the-belt tweets about homosexuals and victims of molestation. That is, when he wasn't busy throwing around the N-word, or inserting his foot firmly in mouth.
In 2010, they engaged in a Twitter war with more homosexuality comments and Chris throwing his success in Raz B's face.
Raz BN, you want attention. He wrote, "Grow up N, A, Dick and Day ask Lil Boy. Tell me this. Why when the money was coming and you all complaining about getting butt plugged? Hashtag homothug." Brown's racial and homophobic laced tweets referred to Raz's past admission that he was once molested by another man. Way to keep it classy, Chris. Possibly realizing that he crossed a line, or more likely just doing his bit to stop the onslaught of angry tweets resulting from his disrespectful message. Brown later sent out a note, "I'm not homophobic. He's just disrespectful." Raz obviously disagreed. "You are not homophobic, or just homosexual on the low," he wrote, going on to clear up Brown's accusations. "Since you took this that far, dude, I wasn't raped. What a disrespect to every kid around the world that has been molested." But it looks like he is widening out the horizons of his narrow mindset because his recent interviews show he is becoming increasingly accepting of the idea. Not just that, he openly talks about how the music industry needs to let people live the way they want to, and he even tweeted about it. "It's your decision. People stop searching for BS." On the other hand, this whole gay parties fiasco involves renowned music rappers alongside Diddy, one big name being Tupac. Rumors were that Tupac and Diddy were in a gay relationship before they had an ugly falling out. And they were also reported to have been a regular member of such parties, which was disclosed later on by Keith D. He further went on to discuss how Tupac and Diddy were joined by the hip at gay parties. Before 2021, Diddy was frequently called gay without cause. Everyone assumed the artist was gay simply because he didn't even state his sexual orientation. His sexuality was the subject of a post in 2021 that allowed trolls to mock him and suggest he was gay. It took place in 2021 on the day of the BET Awards ceremony. There, Lil Nas X had a performance which he wrapped up with a passionate smooch with a male backup dancer. Diddy's cryptic tweet regarding the same backfired at him as the social media started speculating he was gay. Diddy's Twitter complimented him in the words, "Lil Nas X did that. Be fearless." The upshot was that his followers began to mock him. That tweet, though, is no longer accessible. Perhaps the singer removed it afterward, but fans do have a lot to say about Diddy's sexual orientation. One of them commented, "Diddy want to kiss Lil Nas X now. Be fearless, Diddy. Come out the closet and show the world it's okay to be gay. Stop playing like you're not." Another added, "Diddy definitely gay for that tweet. Unless Diddy clears the air about his involvement with underage people and dissociates himself from freaky gay club activities, it seems highly unlikely that the industry will see him in a different light." That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.